Hey everybody, I'm Lucy.
And I'm Morgan, and we're the creators of the Replenishing Life Project.
We help spiritual entrepreneurs to align their cosmic gifts with their soul calling so they can serve the world with courage and confidence and create a life and business that feels good.
One of the most common questions we get asked is all about how to use astrology. So we wanted to create a video for you today to show how you get started with your astrology birth chart and what the different elements are in the chart and what they actually mean, and how to start reading your own chart without any confusion or information overload.
In today's video, you'll learn how to get a free copy of your birth chart, what the different planets mean, what the different signs mean, what's up with the houses, and what on earth are aspects and where to find them in your birth chart. You'll also learn how to start reading your own birth chart and, of course, the birth charts of your friends and family members.
We really appreciate you dropping by our YouTube channel. If you like this video, please give it a like or subscribe to our channel and set the notifications to on so that you get notified when we release new videos.
So let's talk about how to cast your chart. You can cast your free chart on many different websites such as astro.com or astroseek.com. There are also many apps that allow you to do charts on the go as well.
So to get your birth chart, you'll need a few things. You'll need your date of birth, your place of birth, so city, state or province and country, and you'll also need your time of birth. So time of birth is a really important part of your birth chart because it helps you to know your rising sign, or also called your ascendant. And it's also important because you'll know, that's how you'll know which zodiac signs the planets are in. So if you don't know your birth time, don't worry. Most astrologers suggest using 12 noon as the birth time for your chart. There's also astrologers that do what's called chart rectification, and that's where they'll help you to find a time closer to your actual birth time.
Great. So let's take a look at how to get your astrology birth chart. We recommend using astro.com. We're going to be using that website for the purposes of this video. And what you're going to do is you're going to click on free horoscopes. Then you're going to go all the way down to the bottom right-hand side here under drawings and calculations, and you're going to select natal chart and ascendant. So once you do that, you'll be taken through to this section of the website where you get to enter your birth details. So let's do one together. We're just going to make up a person with some made up details. Okay, select a birthday, a made up birthday, and we're going to include a birth time and the place of birth. Okay. There we go. Then you're going to say continue. So once you've put in all of your birth details, you will be presented with your natal birth chart. Okay. Now, there's a lot of information here on this page, but what we want to say is that the birth chart has three main areas where all of the action takes place. So the first area that we encourage you to look at is this outer circle here of the birth chart, where all of these glyphs are, these symbols are. Now, this is actually where the zodiac signs live. Okay, these are the 12 zodiac signs in this outer circle. The middle area of this chart that looks like different pieces of a pie, this is where the 12 houses of the chart are. And then the inner area here of the chart where you get all these different colored lines and shapes, these are actually known as the aspects, which we'll get to later in this video. And finally, the symbols in this chart, the black symbols that you see all around the chart, these are actually known as glyphs, and they represent the different planets in your birth chart.
So now that you know how to cast your own birth chart, let's dive into what each element of the chart actually means. So when we put together an astrology chart, we focus on three different areas. So the planets, they're like the actors in the movie of your life. The zodiac signs, they influence the roles the actors play in your life. So the actors being the planets. And the houses are the areas of your life where the action takes place, kind of like a stage, if you will.
So each planet has a special symbol associated with it called a glyph. And as you can see here on the slide, you can see how each planet has their own special symbol that is associated with it. So each planet governs a specific aspect of your character or your identity. So remember, they are like the actors in the movie of your life. So for example, we can say that Jupiter is the planet of good fortune and expansion. So there's a lot of prosperity there. Saturn is like a tough mentor who reveals your challenges. And Venus, for example, represents your aesthetic style and what attracts you physically and emotionally. So let's dive into the role that each planet plays a little more.
Okay, so first we have the sun. So the sun is, brings the light and the brightness, and that's really the essence of your personality. And then we have the moon, and that's more about your emotions and your inner desires. Then we have the rising sign. Also, the symbol is AC, and it's also known as the ascendant. So this is the image you project to the world. Mercury is about your communication style. Venus is what attracts you or who you love. Mars is about your drive and your motivation.
And then we get to Jupiter. So Jupiter is about growth, expansion, and luck. Saturn is about responsibility, challenge, and also areas of restriction in your life. The planet Uranus is where you're here to be innovative and also where you're here to be creative. Neptune is all about your imagination and spirituality. Then Pluto is your relationship to power, money, and death, and rebirth, of course. And then we have Chiron, which symbolizes your deepest wound and how to heal it.
Okay, and next we have the signs of the zodiac. So when you were born, the planets were all visiting specific zodiac signs. So there are 12 signs of the zodiac, and each sign has a different nuance and quality to the characters the planets are playing in your life. The zodiac begins in the spring with Aries, which is the first sign, and travels through to Pisces, which is the last sign. Here are the qualities of each of the zodiac signs. So you can pause the video if you want and take some notes.
Okay, so what's up with the houses? You've heard about the houses in astrology before, but what do they actually mean? So the third element to reading the astrology chart is the houses, right? They are like the location or the setting or the scene where the action takes place in the movie of your life. So there are 12 houses of the zodiac, as there are 12 signs, and each house represents a different part of your life. So from work to home, to relationships, to career. Now, on the next slide, we encourage you to pause if you want to take some notes about each of the 12 houses.
Okay, next we have aspects. What are aspects? In astrology, the distance between any two planets and zodiac signs is called an aspect. The aspect gives us information about how two or more planets interact with each other. So you can find the different aspects present in your chart by referring to the table below your chart or looking at the various angles and lines in the chart itself. So here's an example of what it might look like for you when you get your chart below. And another example as well. So as this is a more advanced element of reading an astrology chart, let us know if you want to learn more about the aspects, and then we'll cover it in another video.
Okay, so how to actually start reading your own chart. Now, with every astrology chart, you always start with the rising sign or what we call the ascendant. Okay, so here in this particular chart, you'll see that the purple arrow is pointing to the ascendant here on this chart. The ascendant is also the starting point of the 12 houses, with the first house beginning at the ascendant, and all of the houses follow counterclockwise around the chart until the 12th house ends at the same point that the first house begins, at the ascendant. So here's something interesting. The ascendant changes zodiac signs about every 2 hours. So a fun fact, if you were born at sunrise or within about 2 hours of sunrise, your ascendant will be the same as your sun sign. So if you are Taurus sun and you were born around sunrise, you'll also have a Taurus rising, or you'll be a double Taurus.
So your rising sign or ascendant, that's where the purple arrow is all about the image you project to the world. So it's the first impressions you make and the way you express your individuality. Your sun sign is represented by the blue arrow, is the essence of your personality, your creativity, the ego, your identity, and the true you. So the moon sign, which is the pink arrow, that represents your emotions, your inner desires, and how you respond and react to situations. It's also your intuition and what you're sensitive to.
That's it for this video, all about astrology. We hope that you enjoyed it. We hope you enjoyed learning about all the different ways that you can start reading your own chart. We have a question for you. What is your sun, moon, and rising sign? Let us know in the comments below.
See you next time.